Hey, this is Kim here, the Divine Warrior Goddess, and I wanted to talk about the dance of dimensions as we are flowing in and out of dimensions, and we choose in each moment our dimension that we are in. And as we all know, the third dimension is totally asleep. So if you're watching this, you're not in the third dimension. We are actually teetering between the fourth and the fifth and higher. Once we really anchor into the fifth dimension, the higher dimensions above that just all, it doesn't matter anymore. Numbers don't matter anymore as we are vibrating higher and higher. And so as where I'm at, where I'm beginning to really anchor in the fifth dimension, um, I know when I'm back down in the fourth dimension, which is like a purgatory. It's not full on hell like it was in the third dimension. It is where you are teetering back and forth from the fourth to the fifth and higher. And you'll know where you are by how you're feeling. So many of us, especially those that are drawn to watch this, you are teetering between the fourth and the fifth dimension. Um, and when we're mostly in the fifth and higher, we'll know it. But then we still have some of these old programs running where we are thinking about experiences that we've held in as we teetered in the third and the fourth dimension, which were not that fun. For example, when I was fully in the fourth dimension, I worked at a spiritual shop doing readings. And it didn't start out well, and it didn't last long. I think like 4 months I was there. So I did not trust what we call humans, which it's not a put down. It is it's just a different vibration as we are transforming into light bodies, yet we're still having this human experience. We're still in this human body that is evolving. So when I say human, I'm just talking about asleep. And the manager of the shop was very much so asleep and didn't trust me. And integrity has always been very important to me. And I was kind of shocked that she thought I was trying to steal her clients as such. And so that was very surprising to me. So I am in a new location, and I went to a spiritual shop to see about them carrying my book, and they said yes, and then they just asked me if I wanted to do sessions there, and I hesitated, and but I said yes. And then I still have this program running in me that they're not to be trusted, because that was my experience in the old dimension. But it came to me in a flash that it's not going to play out the way that it did before, because my vibration is totally different now. And so this fear is It's unfounded. So I wanted to remind you that when we're in the fear, there is actually nothing to fear. When you are already in another dimension and those old realities are no longer going to play out for you. Does that mean that it's going to work out and I'm going to stay there? Well, I don't know. Um, I know that I don't want to be doing that there all the time because I have a lot of other things going on. But to do it occasionally for the duration that it is supposed to last is that's how it works. When we go higher and higher, we know that okay, just because I'm doing this now doesn't mean it's going to last forever. It has to be in alignment, and when it's not in alignment anymore, we'll know it. So I loved that realization because it made me realize that I'm not even in the same dimension. It's not going to play out like that anymore because that's not where I'm at. So, I've been letting that fear take over me instead of embracing what's been offered to me. So I thought this was an important message to get out there that, we've worked so hard on ourselves that we know we're not in the same vibration. We know that we're not in that same dimension anymore. So, okay, so I have this fear. I had to feel it. I had to deal with it. I had to take a look at it and let it release so that I can move forward fully with open arms, accepting the gifts that the universe has bestowed upon me, which is me. We all have our own little universe, and that's our hologram. So, what you're creating is beautiful and magical. And yeah, but we're still releasing fear, and that's what's teetering between the fourth and the fifth dimension. And so go ahead and just keep releasing all those emotions and those fears. And I'd like to mention that there's so much less. I know that a lot of you are still going through a lot of releasing, as I am as well. But I can tell you that this releasing, this teetering back and forth between the fourth and fifth dimension, um, the releasing gets so much easier and so much faster. So hang in there because the more we release, the less density we have, the less programs that we have. And so let's just let them go and know that it's going to get easier and easier and easier because I know that a lot of people right now are going through some really heavy releasing, and I'm not. And it's awesome because don't beat yourself up because you're in this intense releasing. If you are, but just know that it's getting easier and easier and easier and faster and faster and faster. And what could have taken months before now can be gone in a couple hours, a couple days. Some really strong ones now still will take me, 3 to 5 days. But those are few and far between. And just keep at it. You're not doing anything wrong. You're doing everything right. And it's awesome. So if you're in the dark night, if you're in the really severe body pain, physical releasing, just know that it's going to get easier and easier. with all of these releases. It just does. And all of a sudden, one day you will notice that, oh my gosh, I just released that. And oh my God, that didn't take that long. And, it gets to the point where you can continue on with your day still while you are releasing all these heavy energies and still get stuff done. And then other days you can't. So just hang in there. I'll leave you with that. I love you and have a beautiful, beautiful, magical day. And know that you are much further than you think you are. We are not teetering between the third and the fourth dimension anymore. We are teetering between the fourth dimension and the fifth dimension and higher. So I'll leave you with that. I love you and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.